Hello, you guys, welcome back. Well, yesterday was a very happy day for a lot of us because, as you may have heard, Jose has been arrested for the part he played in Megan's assault. And this isn't just going to be another video about Jose and his arrest and what he's going to go through in prison and everything that may or may not go on with him, because realistically, I heard that he will probably just get some probation and will be just fine. Instead, what I want to talk about today is how Jose got to this place, how he even got involved with somebody like Wes, and how Wes used him as a pawn. In fairness, Jose allowed himself to even be used in the first place, but I want to talk about Jose's life prior to meeting Wes, coming from people who actually know him. But before we get into anything, welcome back to the channel. I'm Danielle. Please, if you could do me a favor and you decide that you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like and consider subscribing. Now, I've spoken to multiple people who were friends with Wes and Jose, and they told me by all accounts, Jose was actually a good kid who got turned out by the whole fake rich Miami lifestyle, which, as we know, ended up chewing him up and spitting him out. Before Jose met Wes, he had a very, very humble life. He lived in a little tiny rinky-dinky one-bedroom apartment, and I'm not calling the apartment rinky-dinky. That was just their words. They told me that he had a longtime girlfriend and he drove a Mustang, which, you know, there is nothing wrong with driving a Mustang. There's nothing wrong with driving any car that gets you from point A to point B. But if we look at the contrast and the way he brags about a Mansory Phantom and Lamborghinis and Bugattis and all this bullshit, it's a massive contrast from his humble beginnings. And if we look back to some of his older posts, even then he was posing in front of cars that weren't his. So not much has changed there. So Jose was just, a follower of Wes. He was coached by him, mentored by him, right? And when he got into his inner circle, when he really started hanging out with Wes, he thought this was going to be the best thing ever. Wes would throw him $1,000 to $2,000 every now and then to basically be his errand boy, as we know. But unfortunately, very soon after Jose started hanging out with Wes, Wes started drinking and drugging again. And to no surprise, Jose followed suit. Even when Jose was preaching a life of sobriety and being sober and all of these things, shortly after, he would be doing the exact same.
As now I'm being labeled as a fake alpha male. First of all, whoever uses that term is just lame in general. What the hell? You guys, all I'm doing is showing you guys my daily life, how much being around my friends have changed the way I see life and the way I move around. I am now 2 years sober. I don't party, I don't do negative shit. All I do is post my daily life, all the positive things I do, and I know what works because it worked for me and I know how to help people. At the end of the day, they're just hating. They hate on what they gave up on. They're all just old dudes, bro. But you know what? I still got love for them. And you know what? If they want help, they can come around and I'll help them out. No hate. Because guess what? We winning.
And it didn't take long for Jose to fully step in, fully take over another man's life with no shame. Jose started driving Wes's cars. He started wearing Wes's jewelry, his watches, started having sleepovers at Wes's house, acting like, he lived there. But in reality, at this time, he still had his one-bedroom apartment that he would go home to every now and then. He even started resembling him in many ways with, the tattoos on his face and talking like him. I mean, Jose, at this point, you should
call yourself a bitch, because that's what you are.
Because remember, Jose,
there's no point in placating my growth by just being nice to me. I hate that shit.
Jose was almost unrecognizable to his loved ones. He went from being this really good kid, a family kid by all accounts, with his girlfriend, who he did look very happy with at one time, and his one-bedroom apartment. And now he's become this sort of, wannabe rich fitness or life coach, wearing another man's jewelry, being super obsessed with other men's tits.
If you look down and you have tits as a man, you should call yourself a bitch. There's nothing wrong with having tits.
cussing all the time on Instagram, Jose was a completely different person than who he was prior to meeting Wes. And as we know, Jose didn't just become his butler, he became his full-time live-in minion, copying everything he did, going everywhere with him, cleaning up after him even, wiping his ass, driving him places, accompanying him to every party, every club, every yacht party. He was literally doing Wes's bidding at every beck and call.
If your homie is winning and he's at the level you want to be at, before you go over and fuck him over and make him lose, for the love of God, keep him winning. Make sure he wins so much, because by extension, you win too. Before you go over and cross him over, think for a second. That's your next level.
Which brings me to Megan's assault, because this is a night when things really escalated. Megan was being brutalized and held against her will, and I remember telling you guys that I had seen a cut on her forehead that was bleeding that in my opinion looked like it needed stitches. And well, instead of getting her proper medical care, Jose was actually the one who glued her wound shut. So yeah, Jose wasn't just around that night. He was actively involved. This kid who, from what I've been told, came from a good family, had a very happy relationship with a girl at one point, very humble beginnings, was now involved in a very serious crime because he allowed himself to be so controlled and used by another man he could not stand up and say no, not even to protect a woman.
Just look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You can always change. It's up to you.
Now, if you remember, a couple of days after this whole event, Wes was the first one to be arrested, and I had thought and hoped that Jose was also going to be arrested that night, right alongside Wes, but he wasn't. Instead, what he did was just carry on like nothing happened, continued to do all of Wes's chores around the house, drive all of Wes's cars, showing them off. He, of course, took back the rented cars like the good little butler he is. But Jose was even posting photos inside of Wes's house, lounging around as if he owned the goddamn place. And if you've been watching his Instagram stories, he was even doing the same goofy ass push-ups on the staircase in the same exact place that Wes used to record himself doing push-ups. Very odd behavior, just fully stepping into this role. At one point, he even posted how much he missed his daddy while on a FaceTime call with him. I believe he even went to go visit him in the Broward County jail, and of course he posted about it. He even posted himself holding a Wes Watson rosary as if Wes is some sort of god. This clown had fully taken over Wes's house, his cars, his routine, his identity, his whole persona, and yet still somehow he wasn't embarrassed about it. So this whole time while Wes has been in jail, Jose has been keeping up with the entire house, keeping everything clean, nice and tidy for Wes, until yesterday when he decided to turn himself in, because at that point, there was already a warrant out for his arrest, and eventually he decided to turn himself in, and he was charged with tampering with a witness, including hindering or delaying communication to law enforcement, and false imprisonment. Now, this was a video he posted on his way to jail.
All right, this is some serious shit. If you had an active warrant right now for your arrest, would you rather get picked up in the cop car or just pull up to the jail in that Mansory Phantom? I'm like, I think I already know my option and what I picked, but and of course there's only one song I'm blasting on my way to jail.
So he was very excited about this whole experience. He even posted this photo op prior to walking into the jail saying "Crowned Jose to be continued." And watching that video really reminded me of this one Wes posted.
You guys, do you know what it feels like to hop in a Mansory satin black Phantom with all options? Not that bench back seat, that bitch back seat, not that bullshit ass back seat.
And that Mansory Phantom.
Mansory Phantom. Mansory Phantom. Mansory Phantom.
So if you listen to the way they talk, it's the same exact tone, same exact cadence, copying Wes to a T. But here's the thing. Jose clearly idolized this man fully, but the admiration was never mutual because Wes never respected guys like this. In fact, he openly has talked about many times about men who worship him, even ones who support him, guys who watch his content. He has called them lames and losers who have never done anything with their lives. Wes has purposefully created minions who will do anything for him, be at his beck and call, and he doesn't respect them for it.
The sad thing is, everybody who says, I still watch your old videos and I like your old videos, they're always the biggest dorks and lames. Like, it's never like a guy who's like a stud, who like is thriving at life. Please stop it, okay? Like, just tell me that you watched a few old videos and now you're a motherfucking stud. Please, please. Like, cause you guys are just, hey, you should watch your old videos. That was 5 years ago. You're still a fucking dork, bro. Like, you're still not killing it, bro. You understand how much pussy I pull with these fucking face tats and headsets? It's crazy. I literally can, dude, I pull any bitch I want in Miami at all times. There would be like a lineup of like 5 different ones at my pad at the same time. And I'm like, dude, I got a chick. Like, you can't suck my dick through my pants. Like, it's all good.
Nico. Her face. So personally, I don't think Wes ever respected Jose. I've heard about many accounts where Wes yelled at Jose, called him names, fought with him, and Jose, all he ever was a lapdog for Wes, a little minion, a little servant to do anything for him anytime he wanted, and he fulfilled his role happily. In fact, he mocks losers like Jose. He constantly mocks guys like him. And for some reason, Jose was just too dumb to see the truth. He gave up his whole life for this guy. He gave up his girlfriend, who he seemed very happy with at one point. He gave up his, happy little humble lifestyle to follow this man around like a little puppy dog. Most people are able to look at a guy like Wes and realize that this is a joke. This guy is a complete clown. But we have to remember that there are some people out there that take this shit seriously, that take him at face value, that actually take this kind of stuff to heart. And ultimately, it's all fake. It's a completely fake online persona that he's created for views. And I don't know if it's, whether Jose doesn't have enough life experience. I don't know if he was just super sheltered as a kid. He does come from what I hear is a good family, which in that case, I would love to know what his parents think about what he did that night and the person he has become. I also want to know how Jose would feel if his sister were the one in Megan's shoes. And ultimately, this is a really sad story about what happens when somebody gives up themselves for, luxury and a fake lifestyle and parties and the glitz and the glamour and the vapid materialistic lifestyle, trying to chase something that will never be yours, that was never yours to begin with, belonged to another man. You trying to insert yourself into another man's life, and look how it ended up for you. In the end, Wes is not going to be there for Jose. As much as Jose feels like, he's going to get some sort of street cred or something standing by Wes's side, Wes would not give him that same loyalty. Wes is about himself. He's always been about himself. He will continue to be about himself, and he will not for a second sacrifice anything for another man, much less his freedom. So at the end of the day, Wes is going to try to save himself, and Jose is going to try to save Wes, which, good luck, buddy.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you thought about all of this. I thought it was really sad hearing about Jose's past and, the person that he was prior to meeting Wes. Again, these are just things that have been told to me by some of their old friends. But I think it's really sad how this guy has pretty much thrown away his whole life for not even a woman, for another man, a man who didn't care whether or not he ruined your life. It's just really shocking how somebody could be that blind and dumb. Anyways, guys, thanks again. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.